Morning. I'm here at the property boundary of Boneyard Ridge, a North Coast Land Conservancy property. About a year ago, I laid down a bunch of plywood salamander boards, and it's been a year now, and they've had a chance to sort of acclimate to the surroundings. And so today we're going to take a look at what's underneath those salamander boards. Melissa and Eric are going to be coming here from the North Coast Land Conservancy, and they're going to help out. I don't know whether we're going to find anything or not. We're all going to make the discoveries together here today. Sometimes these salamander boards can have all kinds of interesting things under them. In fact, the better description is habitat board, because mice and snails and snakes and all kinds of things will use these places for cover. And so sometimes you find lots of things under them. Other times, well, let's just say it's disappointing. So this is going to be an adventure for us all. There are 12 boards out. I don't know whether we will film every single one of them, but we will certainly look under every single one of them and see what we can find. And we'll be taking notes and doing some quantitative stuff as well. So stay with us while we look under some boards. Look at all of the trackways in that one.
This one's very dry.
Busy,
yeah.
busy. Well, and that may be one of the reasons why it's attracting more mammals. They probably prefer the dry to the wet. But, wow. Those are some pretty big trackways too. I would bet that is Townsend's vole, or one of the voles that's supposed to be here that we haven't confirmed yet. Oh, and that is a. Let's have a closer look at that. That's. Can you bring that? Go ahead and put the board down. That one's, I see mammal trackways over here on this corner. Over here, see where this plant is going through?
Oh, yeah. Huh.
That's all mammal trackways there. And some really close to the edge in the front here. Yeah. But yeah, more mammal trackways and not a lot else. Yeah. I don't know whether this thing's going to... Anything exciting?
I don't really see much. Roots. Bunch of roots. Maybe a couple of burrows or tunnels.
Yeah, there's a little bit of trackway action there too, but not a lot.
Yeah.
There's one that's running right. See that one route that runs through the middle there? There's a trackway that runs under that.
Yeah. Oh, I see that now. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little mouse highway.
Yeah, it's this one is probably Peromyscus, just because it's not. You know, in that other one that was real burrows, you know, down there, real. It looked like something was actually thinking about it, whereas the Peromyscus, I think they just kind of move through so that they can get around. I don't think they do nearly as much digging, but I am probably going to get in trouble for saying that out loud. Some Peromyscus expert is going to tell me, "Oh no, Mike, you're lying again. You're making stuff up to sound smart." As you've no doubt noticed by now, the designation salamander board is optimistic, to say the least. A lot of it has to do with the habitat up on Boneyard Ridge. It's much drier up there. The forest is much younger, and it just hasn't had a chance to develop the kind of understory, overstory that holds moisture. So I thought it might be fun to come out and finish this video with a trip up to a place where I put some salamander boards maybe 14, 15 years ago. That some of them should still be up here, and we're going to go up here and look underneath some of these. You can see that this is a much wetter, greener looking place than the spots up on Boneyard Ridge. Someday, 30 or 40 years from now, 50 or 60 years from now, 500 years from now, Boneyard Ridge will look a lot more like this, but right now it doesn't, and it's probably one of the reasons why we found a lot of mice evidence and very, very little salamander evidence. I was doing the math while I was walking the line where the boards should be, and I reckon I haven't been up here to even look for boards in at least 2 years, because I didn't come up here during the COVID, and I may not have come up the year before that either. So it's not surprising that so far I've been past where at least 3 of the boards should have been, and I have failed to find a board yet, because a lot of things can change in 3 years. The boards may well have been buried so deeply under the leaf litter and the fallen material that they're just no longer anywhere to be seen. But I'll keep looking here, and maybe we'll get lucky. Well, I've been past just about every place where there used to be a box or a board, and I am not finding any boards anywhere. Of course, the salamanders don't need boards. They've got plenty of other places to be. The boards were a convenience for me, and I suppose we should take my not being able to find any boards as a sort of metaphor for human involvement in natural processes. Time and the decomposer community recycle everything. But we could flip over a couple of logs here just for closure. So let's see what we can find just in the and there you have it, right there. That is a western red-backed salamander in its natural habitat. All right, I suspect you can feel the sense of disappointment that we kind of had because we didn't find anything under any of the boards, couldn't even find some of the boards. The boards themselves are only a piece of 3/4 inch plywood, 2 feet by 4 feet. Now you can get 4 pieces out of a sheet of plywood, and I paint the tops of them white because it should make them easier to find, although as you could see, that doesn't always work. And just about anybody can make one of these, and they don't have to be official, and they don't have to have stuff written on them. But the truth of the matter is, we don't always find stuff. We're looking for big vertebrate type things that make for good photographs, and that doesn't always work for us. So we have to go looking, and let's be real here. We did find a beaded lance tooth, which is a kind of predatory snail. It's one of several kinds of predatory snails that we find. This is the other one, robust lance tooth, and it's actually pretty common underneath these boards. Snail or banana slugs actually crawl underneath these boards and lay their eggs, and we've found eggs and little baby banana slugs underneath the boards in the past. These boards are full of invertebrates, particularly this kind of spider is a kind of funnel weaver. We find a lot of funnel weavers under the boards. We find predatory carabid beetles crawling around under the boards. We find centipedes and millipedes underneath the board. The centipedes are also a voracious predator. In fact, we find a lot of predators underneath these boards, which suggest that there's plenty of stuff to eat under them. And that gets us to what probably is the most common thing under the boards, which we haven't spent a lot of time investigating, and it's these little tiny critters that are millimeter or less in size that also inhabit these boards. And so when we look under the boards and we don't find anything big and sexy, it's easy to feel like we've failed. But the truth of the matter is the boards are actually quite busy with life underneath them, and they give us a clue into what's going on under real woody debris, like fallen logs and branches and leaves and all of that other structural stuff that these boards are meant to imitate, but in a more quantitative way. So we'll keep looking under the boards, and hopefully we'll keep finding stuff, and we'll keep letting you know what we find.